Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. More adventures in futility today. What we're working on is a 2001 Dodge 3/4 ton two-wheel drive with 24 valve Cummins in it. And what we're doing, this thing died on the customer out on the road. He has been a customer before, so he knew we were here. So for the third time, maybe fourth time, in 25 years, somebody had trouble and pulled into our driveway, and it died out in our driveway. Well, that was like a week and a half ago. Today, I'm waiting on parts for the engine job over there. It was supposed to be in yesterday, then it was supposed to be in today, and it's still not here. So next week, maybe. Anyway, we drug his truck in so we could get it diagnosed and find out what's going on. We were 90% sure it was a fuel pump, as it just died out of nowhere, and it cranks good. These 5.9 Cummins do not just quit for no reason. So we checked it, and it's not pumping any fuel. Okay. So I looked down on the side of the block, and it doesn't have a transfer pump. It's not there. These things right there behind the fuel filter, they're supposed to have a fuel pump bolted there with wires going to it, and that sucks fuel from the tank, puts it into the fuel filter, and then puts it in the injection pump. All right, there's no pump there, so it's going to be an in-tank fuel pump. I go back here to the tank, climb down in underneath there, and this thing, fortunately, you can reach up over the top. Oh! And after a little bit of finagling, I got the fuel pump plug unhooked and out here where I can test it. I did not hear the fuel pump running at any point, but this dark green wire here is supposed to be the fuel pump, and this is supposed to be the ground for it. Now I hooked my test light here and here, so I had a complete loop, and I don't have any power. I tried grounding my test light to the rest here, and for some reason it don't work. Now, what I wanted to know is, where does it get its power? I look in the wiring diagram, and the wiring diagram is showing me where the power comes from for the fuel transfer pump that's mounted on the side of the engine. That's not there. So we jumped up a year, looked it up for a 2002, and it's the same as the 2001. This truck comes off, it comes into the computer by the VIN number as a 2001. Now I look at it, and the build date is 4 of 2000. So what should be a 2000, but it's not, it's a 2001. So I entered in 2000 Dodge. The 2000 Dodge does not show the transfer pump being up on the frame. It shows the transfer pump being in the fuel tank. And I got the 4-wire plug like it says, all the wire colors like it says, and fuel pump wire coming out of it, green with a black tracer like it has, and it goes forward a little bit, and it says cut off, and it's not used. So I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what powers it. I don't find a fuel pump relay in the power distribution center. I don't find a fuse for it. Where do you go from here? And people say, well, just trace it back. Just trace it back. Trace it back. This truck's going to have a dozen or more green wires with a black tracer, and it's 20 years old. Tracing it back, that works whenever you're dealing with, 25 wires for the whole car. bumper to bumper. It doesn't work when you've got 25 wires running a power window. You have to know what you're dealing with. And I can peel that thing apart a little bit and then go forward 5 feet and peel it apart and not even find a green wire because it transferred to another color, just in the middle for whatever reason. They do that too a lot. They'll splice it, change the color of the wire. I don't know, it'll split off. It'll go forward and split off and go to the transmission, split off and go to an ABS module or something like that. So, I think the first time ever, I have called tech support and said, hey, this is what I've got. And he asked me all the information, and he was looking through it, and I could tell from the way he was talking, he was just looking it up like I did first time. Well, I got the transfer pump with the yellow wire here, and it goes to the computer, and it's like, yeah, I know, but that's not what runs this other pump. I need to know what runs that other pump. Well, I'm not sure. I'm looking into TSBs, the technical service bulletins, and I looked in them too, but they don't have any information in them. They were diagnosis for the pump on the side of the block. It don't have that. This is what we run into a lot. I tried Googling it, and I have all kinds of information on replacing the lift pumps, on retrofitting a lift pump in the tank to a lift pump on the frame, on putting an FAS system on them. Just all kinds of information that I don't need, rather than the information that I do need. All I need to know is, where does the power come from for that there? Does it come directly off the computer? That'd be stupid. It's not impossible. Some of them do that. We'll find out. Hopefully, I'll check my boss's email and see if they emailed us back, because you can't do anything, just with a quick answer, even when they have all the information. But they do give out all the information they have. It's just wrong. We'll see. Okay. Now, update on the Dodge truck. I just got an email back from Mitchell on the wiring diagrams. They say that this, what I've got doesn't exist, so I'm wrong. I'm not looking at what I'm looking at, and this is what it is, and no, that's not what it is. Yep, it is. So I had to do it the hard way. I followed the wires forward. No! Fortunately, there's not very many wires in this thing. Only, I don't know, 20, 25 right there. But this green with a black tracer on that corner right there is the one that goes to the fuel pump in the tank. And it comes out of this plug right here as an orange wire that goes up by itself. So thankfully it's not in a bundle. I was able to follow this wire up alongside everything, and look at what I found right there. There is a fuel pump relay. Now it's got a wire running out here up into the bottom of the power distribution box. I don't know if it was retrofit or what the story is on this stupid thing, but at least now I've got something to test. Okay, this relay that I found back here, we got the power wire is supposed to come out of it. It leads forward underneath the box, comes out from underneath the box up here, and look at this. Somebody has wired in a fuse right here, and that fuse is destroyed, corroded, and as you can see, we've got power there. But then when we check in the fuse holder, we do not have power in the fuse holder. Now, look at this big nub conglomeration of stuff. Like I say, I have power up here, and that looks fun, doesn't it? I've got power up here, but I don't have power here. So we got plenty of extra wire. We're just gonna nip this off right here, put in a new fuse holder to the battery, like somebody else did it. This has been retrofitted or homemade or something. The wires that run down here, they're done in looming, except for the power wire. They're done in looming. That runs down here to where the lift pump used to be and plugs in. So somebody took the lift pump off the side of the engine, ran a wire up to a relay, and ran it to an in-tank lift pump. I don't know why. I don't care. It runs. I touched that to the battery with a relay in there. It fired up the fuel pump back there. So looks like we just got a corrosion problem on the power. We'll get that taken care of and get them on our way. Okay, I just wanted to point out, as you can see, I'm at home. I had to cut out of there pretty quick for a deal at the church. But the way that relay was put in there, it's pretty close to the way I would do it. They did most everything right. Down there at the bottom, if you saw on the video, that wire came out, it was heat shrinked, and then it had looming put over it. Well, that heat shrink had hot glue coming out of it. That's how we seal them up. We buy a heat shrink with hot glue inside of it, so when you shrink it down, it heats that glue up and it watertights that wire. That was done correctly. It was running looming all the way up to the relay. From the relay, they used the stock signal wire to the transfer pump that should be on the side of the block. Then they're not altering the truck really in any way. That wire was run over to the relay and they used it to switch the relay. Perfect. The only thing I would have done differently is I would have run the power wire in looming over there, and I would have put it into the box, not into the battery. And it should have been a heavier wire. But we'll get it tidied up. We ordered out on Monday. They had them in stock, but it was late. It was 5:30, and I had to be an hour away at 6:30. So I cut out of there 15 minutes later. So I just wanted to point out that for having to do something aftermarket, they did it correctly. So like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.